The central argument of this work is both profound and simple: love matters because it builds brains. The book presents a compelling case that our earliest emotional experiences, particularly the bond with our primary caregivers, do far more than provide comfort. They act as the chief architects of our developing brain, physically wiring the neural pathways that will govern our emotional stability, social abilities, and physical health for a lifetime. This isn't a metaphor, it's a biological process. The infant brain is an unfinished project, a vast network of neurons waiting to be connected. The primary tool for this intricate wiring job is the emotional interaction between baby and caregiver. The author, drawing from decades of neuropsychological research and clinical practice, explains how this process works. When a caregiver consistently responds to a baby's cues, soothing a cry, returning a smile, engaging in playful chatter, these repeated interactions trigger a cascade of neurochemicals and hormones. Stress-regulating systems are calibrated, and neural connections for managing emotions are solidified. The baby learns that the world is a predictable, responsive, and safe place. Their brain builds circuits for security, empathy, and self-regulation. Conversely, when care is inconsistent, frightening, or absent, the infant experiences toxic levels of stress. The developing brain, in a desperate bid to survive a perceived hostile environment, wires itself for constant alertness. Pathways for anxiety, impulsivity, and aggression are strengthened at the expense of those controlling calm reasoning and emotional connection. This early programming has staggering long-term consequences. The book meticulously links deficits in early nurturing to a higher risk of problems later in life, including mental health disorders like depression and anxiety, difficulties with forming healthy relationships, and even an increased susceptibility to physical illnesses. The stress systems set on high alert in infancy can remain dysregulated, wearing down the body's immune and cardiovascular systems over decades. The work argues that many of the psychological issues treated in therapy adults have their roots not in conscious memories of childhood, but in these pre-verbal, brain-shaping patterns of connection or neglect. A key strength of the narrative is its accessible exploration of complex science. It demystifies the roles of key brain structures like the amygdala, the alarm center, the hippocampus, involved in memory and stress regulation, and the prefrontal cortex, the seat of rational thought and impulse control. The book illustrates how loving interaction promotes integration between these regions, while adversity can leave them poorly connected, leading to emotional hijackings where fear overrides reason. The hormone cortisol, released during stress, is revealed as a double-edged sword, essential in small, manageable doses for learning and adaptation, but literally toxic to developing neural tissue when floods are chronic and unsoothed by a caregiver's comfort. Beyond diagnosing the problem, the book offers a powerful message of hope. It emphasizes that the brain retains a significant degree of plasticity, or ability to change, well beyond childhood. While early patterns are foundational and harder to alter, they are not absolute destiny. Later corrective emotional experiences, in deep friendships, mentoring relationships, or especially in therapy, can gradually rewire the brain. The book provides insight into how therapeutic relationships work on a neurological level. A consistent, empathetic, and trustworthy therapist can provide a form of reparenting, creating a secure base from which a client can slowly learn to regulate emotions and rebuild the neural pathways for trust and connection. The implications of this science are vast, pushing us to reconsider societal priorities. The book makes a forceful case that supporting parents and caregivers is not a social luxury but a critical public health intervention. Policies that enable parental leave, provide access to mental health support for struggling parents, and foster community connectedness are investments in the future brain health of the population. It argues that by ensuring babies get the loving, responsive start they need, we can prevent a significant portion of future societal costs related to healthcare, education, and criminal justice. Ultimately, this work transforms our understanding of love from a soft, sentimental concept into a hard, biological imperative. It posits that loving care is the most important nutrient for the developing brain, as crucial as vitamins or protein. The way we hold, gaze at, and respond to our infants is quite literally molding the physical organ from which their mind, personality, and resilience will emerge. This knowledge empowers parents, validates the work of caregivers, and provides a scientific foundation for compassion, arguing that building a more loving and responsive world begins with the earliest, most vulnerable moments of life.